leaves are brown and the sky is grey. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. In this lesson today we're going to be checking out California Dreamin' by the Mamas and Papas. Really cool little tune, this one. You can play it real simple if you're a beginner, and if you want to kind of spice it up a bit you can start adding in some new strumming patterns. The actual strumming pattern used on the record is kind of tricky, especially if you want to sing along, but I think it's worth the practice because it sounds pretty ace when you get it. We're going to take it first of all with the chords, because there's quite a few chords and some of them aren't kind of where you'd expect them to be. So I'm going to start off taking you through the verse and the chorus, just 4 bars at a time, and tell you how many strums there are on each one. Then we'll play that through the whole thing, check out the strumming, and then the intro. So that's the kind of the plot of the lesson. The first chord I'm going to show you is this E7 sus4 chord, just because it's used in the intro and it's used right the way through the whole song. So it's important that you get this one right as well, and some of you may not be familiar with it. If you start off with a regular E7, I should note at this point too, we've got the capo on the 4th fret for those of you who haven't noticed that already. That big red thing there is on the 4th fret. So we start off with a regular E7, just using our 1st and 2nd fingers, kind of, so that would be open string, 2nd fret open string, 1st fret open open. That's E7. And if we put our 3rd finger down in the 3rd string 2nd fret, we get our E7 sus4. It's important to use that 3rd finger there, because then it's easy to go back to E7. Just lift off the 3rd finger and put the 1st finger back down. That's important movement. So, but we're going to start with the 3rd finger down on this E7 sus4. And that's where the vocal would be. Now the first 4 bars of the verse are this. It starts with an A minor for 2 strums, then to G, then to F, then to G, E7 sus4 for a whole bar, E7 for 2 beats, and F for 2 beats. Now if you haven't got the beginner's songbook in front of you, I'd really recommend that you write these chords down. It'll make it a whole lot easier. And something else I'll mention too there, I'm sometimes playing an F major 7 in this in the verses instead of a regular F. Just it seems to sound nice and it fits under my fingers easily that way. So yeah, but you can play like regular bar chord F if you're working on your bar chord F. You can do that, or you can do the the F major 7, either just the one that uses the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers, or the full one that uses 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and 4th fingers. And you can wrap the thumb around, play the bass if you like. It doesn't really matter. They all sound cool. So let me give that to you one more time. That first 4 bars. Actually, one other thing to mention, sorry to keep on jumping all over the place here. The G chord, I'm often using this G chord just using my 3rd and 4th fingers. In the beginner's course I refer to this as a folk G, although in this case I'm actually only using 2 fingers, so I've got my 3rd finger on the thicker string. The underneath of my 3rd finger is muting the 5th string, then we've got 3 open strings, and little finger on the 3rd fret of the thinner string. When you've got these kind of chord changes with F, I often find myself using this one because it seems to fit really well with the F chord. So you might want to try that. But again, you can use regular G and F chord. That's totally fine. When I'm playing it, I'm trying to show you kind of how I ended up playing it and singing it. Often I find kind of cheaty ways to play stuff if I've got to sing at the same time, so I don't have to concentrate too much on the guitar stuff. So I thought I'd point that out as we go. So here we go again. The first 4 bars of verse 1. A minor for 2 beats. G for 2 beats, F for 2 beats, back to G, E7 for a whole bar, that's 4 beats, E7 for 2, F for 2. Okay, let's look at the next 4. Now we've got C chord for 2 beats that is, E7 for 2, A minor for 2, F for 2, E7 sus4 for a whole bar, and E7 for a whole bar. Next 4, we got A minor for 2, G for 2, F for 2, G for 2, whole bar of E7 sus4, and a whole bar of E7, Now we've got almost the same thing, A minor for 2, G for 2, F for 2, G for 2, and then E7 sus4 for 2 whole bars. Now, I hate to admit this really, but in the beginner's songbook at the moment it says, in the chorus, says E7 sus4 for 1 bar, E7 for 1 bar. Now, I checked out this song and I was practicing along with it earlier to make sure that I was doing it okay, and I noticed that it's actually 2 bars of E7 sus4. I will get it corrected for future editions, but my fault, I didn't transcribe it as accurately as I should have first time round. Sorry about that, but you can just write in E7 sus4 there, and I'll just write sus4 after the E7 and you've got it sorted. So that's the main sequence there. We're through. That's it. That's the verses and the choruses. The little flute solo part is similar chords, you know, so you can read that from the book. That's pretty simple, really. But what I'm going to do now is I just want to play through that again, just really straight counting the chords, and then I'll do a little sing through for you, and then we'll start to look at the strumming. So again, from the verse, starting off on the E7 sus4, I'll play just one strum of that and count it for a bar, and then we'll go through. So we got E2, 3, 4, E7 sus4, 3, 4 to A minor, G, F, G, E7 sus4, whole bar, 2 on E7, 2 on F. Then we're going to C, E7, A minor to F, whole bar on E7 sus4, whole bar on E7, A minor to G, to F, to G, to E7 sus4, whole bar, E7 for a whole bar. Now we're into the chorus. Same thing again. A minor, G, F, G, 2 bars on E7 sus4. So hopefully that's kind of given you most of the progression there. Let me take it through and do a little kind of sing-songy along so you can hear the melody and the chords together. So we're starting off with the E7 there. All the leaves are A minor, G, F, and the G is E7 sus4, E7, F's been for a C, E7, A minor, on an F chord, E7 sus4, to E7, I'd be safe an A minor, G, F, if I G'd in E7 sus4, to E7, California, A minor, G, F, on G, a D chord, E7 sus4, for 2 bars, maybe just not start getting the chords right in the future songs. So that's the sequence, and you can work it just with this really simple strumming, and it kind of sounds cool like that, but you can also kind of razz up the strumming quite a bit. Now, probably what you want to start off with, if you're going to do something more interesting with the strumming, is, I'm just going to stay on the A minor chord, would be to do 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. That would be kind of first step if I just start with doing that. Now what's interesting there, and I think the thing that you probably want to pick up on, is that because a lot of these the bars have 2 chords in each bar, you'd end up with this the verse sequence, 2 down strums on the A minor, then when you change to the G you do the down, up, then 2 downs on the F, then down, up on the G again, then E7, down, 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 up, E7, down, down, up, down, up. And that's kind of what I'd recommend really as a first step. Get used to doing those strumming patterns before you check out now what I'm going to show you, which is the actual strumming pattern from the recording. Now, this one I'm going to do it on the A minor, and that's what I'd recommend that you do, is get the strumming pattern right first, just on a static chord. We've got this down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3, and 4. There's this little weird bit where you don't strum on beat 1. And it kind of takes a little bit of practice. It's because one of the chords is pushed, but let me get to that in a second. So first of all, let's get this pattern out. Let me take it through for you again, real slow. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. That'll be down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've got to practice this one slowly. Write it down. Make sure you're looking at it. If you got the songbook, it's written there for you already. But just really do it slowly and make sure that you get it right, because it's a bit awkward, this idea of kind of not having a chord on beat 1. So let me explain what's going on there. The reason that there's not a chord there on beat 1 is because it's pushed. So that last up strum in the first bar is where you change chord. So if we do, let's apply it to this the chord sequence in the, let's do it on the E7 sus4 to the E7. So on the E7 sus4, we'd have down, 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 up, up. And that change, that last upstroke there, in the last upstroke in the first bar, is where you would change chords. Again, down, 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 up, up. That's where the change. Down, up, down. Sorry. Down, 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 up, up. Down, down, up, down. Now, that's where you hear the chord progression most clearly, is in that little bit. So if you kind of fluff it a little bit, so long as you keep the hand moving, which is the really important deal with strumming, of course, you'll remember from me going on lots of times before, you've got to keep that strumming hand moving evenly. If you add in a couple of extra strums, it's going to be fine. I certainly don't play it with exactly that strumming pattern all of the way through when I play it and sing it. So, because I've got to think about the singing and stuff, and it's kind of tricky. So, once you get that, on the A minor, G, F, G, it's going to be the F chord that's kind of pushed. So you'd end up having down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down. And again, down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down. A minor, G, F, F, G, down, 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 up, up. Probably want to give that a good It does sound really cool when you get it. It's worth the practice, but it is really important that you practice it kind of out of the chord progression first. Just pick the one chord, the A minor or the E7, whatever, practice getting that one, then work on getting those pushes in, because that does make it kind of complicated. It sounds great when you get it. So we're pretty much there. I was going to show you the intro. So let's get to a close-up actually to show you. That'll be a lot easier. To play the intro, you're best off starting with an A minor chord and then lifting off your first finger, so you've got that A sus2. And you're going to play the 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, then back to the 4th string. Just use all down picks or whatever you like, doesn't really matter. And then little finger goes down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, then 1st finger in the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then play the 2nd string open. And you do that 3 times. Then you strum your E7 sus4 chord, and then you're into the song. One more time. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on California Dreaming. Really, really good fun one. Love to see some covers of you guys playing this song. So record a version of yourself playing it and then make it a video response for that, and I'll go check it out. Take care of yourselves. See you for another lesson or song or something very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.